Hey guys, AllyZieMage here, and welcome back to another vlog! We're gonna be talking about the difference between undergrad and graduate work, and what that has done to my life. It's more so like that transition period of entering a new stage of life, of becoming more mature. No, I'm not more mature. Let's be real. But I have noticed a severe difference in how I run my life and what I'm doing with my life, and it's really weird. I was not expecting it, and I think there's two reasons for this. The first is I am no longer an undergraduate student. I'm pretty sure I uploaded enough in the summer that I already uploaded after I got my BS. But I also now have my MS. You are now looking at someone who has 2 degrees. Woo! Yeah, so I finished that at the beginning of September. I got the official diploma on September 16th is when I picked it up from the registrar, which is the earliest I could pick it up. And that was fun. There's no story associated with that. But I've been doing PhD work now for 1 full term, as my school designates it. My school has 7-week terms. I believe I've said this before. So when everyone else had finals or midterms, I had finals. But graduate classes are a little bit different. And I think I've talked about this before in another video about graduate classes. Or no, I was ranting about professors, and it was a professor I had a graduate class with. But we spend 14 weeks on graduate classes that are 3 credits and 7 weeks on graduate classes that are 2 credits. This is important because I had 1 2-credit class and 1 3-credit class this semester. And then I have research that I'm doing because as a PhD student, sometimes as master students, you do research. PhD students, it's mostly research. Like, it's set up that you have 30 credits of classwork and 60 credits of research and other stuff that you can fill that with. At least 30 go to your dissertation, however. And at least 6 to what's called a rotation, so you pop around into different labs to see what type of research you want to do. A lot of times people get brought in with a professor already, but they like to do that either way, just so that every student has an opportunity to explore other things, because a PhD is a commitment. Like, it's more of a commitment than a bachelor's, because it's a lot more fine-tuned. And there's a lot less maneuverability in it, like you can't switch majors suddenly. And you probably don't want to switch labs when you're halfway through your dissertation. Oof. What are the differences between undergraduate and graduate work that I've been noticing, and more specifically PhD, because I didn't notice as many differences during my MS because I did that over the summer, so what the fuck was I going to compare it to? I haven't ever done summer classes. It was similar to other research experiences I had. My MS over the summer, there we go, that's the difference. It was just straight research. I was doing my thesis. But PhD work has been significantly different. I more or less work a 8 to 4 work week right now. So I go into lab between 8 and 9, usually closer to 8 because my boyfriend leaves the apartment at 7:30. And then I get ready and I walk up to campus, which is like a 7-minute walk. Whoop-de-doo. And then I do work on the research that we're doing. I facilitate anything that needs to be done with the undergraduates. I schedule stuff. I make sure paperwork is in order. And sometimes I have meetings. And then somewhere in there I go to class, I eat lunch, etc., etc. But I am in lab from 8 to 4, 4:30, sometimes up to 6, 6:30. I think. And most of the time I can do my schoolwork also during that time. Especially at the beginning of the semester when I was procrastinating a lot less, I did a lot of my homework in lab and I had my evenings free. That's absolutely not something that happened when I was an undergraduate. I'm starting to think back and think maybe I could have, but there is a huge difference between having a place on campus that you can always go back to study at, or to do work at, etc., leave your backpack there. Half the time I'd leave my backpack in lab and just walk over to class with my laptop and my pen that I write on my laptop with and call it good. Like, I didn't need to bring my backpack with me, which is amazing. But I couldn't do that as an undergraduate because my freshman dorm was the furthest away than any other dorm on campus for freshmen. And then my apartment was a 5 to 7 minute walk depending on how much I pushed it. So no matter what, I always had to go, I either had to find somewhere to study at, and I get distracted very easily. Not by other people, just by myself. So put that with the stimulants of campus and settings that I'm not used to being in. Like I'm used to my campus, obviously, but it's not like I work at the same spot every single day at the same desk. Whenever I could go to the library and get the same spot, my work became much more productive because I was in a familiar environment that I'd already been in recently that week. I can do that with lab. I have my own desk. I have my own computer with 2 monitors. I just got that for being a funded student. Oh yeah, I have funding. This is for PhD students who have funding. Most PhD students have funding because, Jesus Christ, that's expensive if you don't. How are you living? But pretty much, funding, real short, pays for my tuition, gives me a discount on health insurance, and gives me a monthly stipend. By having that environment that I can just continuously go back to, I am a lot more productive with my time because I'm not wasting as much time. Because that was another thing that would happen, is if I had an hour between classes, I'd plop down in a chair and read. Or surf on my phone. Or find a person to talk to, or stand in line for food for half an hour, because Jesus Christ, the campus center gets busy. There's like these things that made me unproductive. Like, I wasn't maximizing the amount of time that I had, because I didn't feel like it was worth doing work in that hour when I was going to have to search for a seat, get comfortable, get my stuff out, blah, 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 blah. Whereas with my lab on campus, I can leave up my desktop with all the programs that I want, maybe lock the screen. I'm in the very back of the room next to one person who's my friend, so it's not like too much sketchy's gonna go on with that. And then I can go to class, walk back. Takes a minute. 1 to 2 minutes. I'm on a really small campus. Like, granted, I'm at the bottom of the edge, but like, yeah. So I feel like I'm significantly more productive and I'm using my free time a lot more. Like, yeah, there are times I still procrastinate, and then I get my buddy to procrastinate, and I'm like, haha, sucks to suck. Don't do work with me. But yeah, like I said, there are times I still procrastinate a lot. For example, I had a 15-page paper due for my 2-credit class, so that means I had 7 weeks to write 15 pages. And the professor was really smart. He gave us benchmarks. He's like, at the end of this week, I want you to turn in this. At the end of this week, I want you to turn in this. It was a mixed class, however. There was undergraduates and graduate students. The benchmarks were designed for undergraduate students. Which means that by the end of 5.5 weeks, I had 6 pages written. Which, if I was an undergraduate, would be fine. Because they only needed to write 9 pages. But as a graduate student, I have 6 pages done, and I look at it and I go, oh fuck, I need to write 9 pages soon. And then I went to Maryland for the weekend. My roommate and I, she was in the class with me. Allie, you've actually seen her before. She and I spent 3 or 4 hours at a coffee shop. 4 hours at a coffee shop because we left around 5 and then left the coffee shop around 9. We left the apartment to go there at 5. And then we spent an additional 5 or 6 hours. I hope you don't hear Facebook going off, but you probably do. It's actually Allie texting me. We spent an additional 5 or 6 hours in the lab. This was the night before the paper was due. And then we didn't finish. We gave up at 3 a.m. 3:30. Got home, slept for a few hours. I slept for significantly less time because, okay, maybe not significantly less. I slept for less time though because my boyfriend's alarm always goes off at 6. I don't do well going back to sleep. I just lay there like a rock but do nothing. It's not restful. And then finished writing it for when it was due at like 1. That was fun time. I finished around 11:30 or 12. Walked up to campus, printed it because this fucking printer right here was out of ink. And I bought the wrong ink for it. Go Allie. But yeah, those were fun times. It went well. I hated it. But that was my procrastination at work and it went fine, so I'm gonna do it again. So while there are some differences of like, usually I'm not working at home, there are still times I do because I'm stupid. But now I have the opportunity that if I'm smart, I don't have to do that. Another thing is that as an undergraduate, I would get my financial aid at the beginning of the semester, and I had to make that last. So, for the fall semester, I'd receive funding around the first or second week of September, and I would have to make that last until the first week of February. And then I'd get my spring's funding. It was like grants, scholarships, student loans to pay off college, and then the rest of that went to my bank to pay for rent and food and car. And then at February first week, I'd get the rest for spring, and that I would make last sometime into May, when I could then start a part-time job or summer research or some other type of way to make money over the summer. So there was no like stable income. I would get a huge chunk of like 6,000 or 7,000 in the fall, and then another like 5,000 or 6,000 in the spring, because one of my scholarships just paid everything in the fall. So I had to plan out money management and be like, okay, I may have a lot right now, but I'm not gonna have that much in December. No. There were times that I was struggling to buy toothpaste. It was really fun. But now, as a graduate student that's funded, I have a monthly paycheck. So it's a little nerve-wracking, I'll be honest, that I get towards the end of the month, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I have like $500. How am I gonna survive? Because I'm like, I need to pay rent, I need to pay my credit cards, I need to pay my car. All that's not due until the next month. And I get paid at the end of every month, just for reference. So I get one paycheck per month, and it's at the end. So like when I'm getting close to the end, when it's like time to pay rent, I'm like, I'm scared. And then my money comes in, I'm like, all right, I get a monthly paycheck. I need to adjust to that, and it's really weird, because for the past 4 years, I've been living semester to semester. But now it's fine. I just need to get past the PTSD and all the panic attacks that I get whenever I see my bank account and forget that I have more money coming in. What else is different? My social life is a bit more different. Not really, because I was never super social to begin with. But my friend group has gotten even smaller, believe it or not. To consist of all but one person that lives in my apartment. Haha. Okay, all but one person that lives in my apartment that is also at my campus. I still keep in contact with like friends from Colorado. I still keep in contact with friends that have graduated or like in Boston now. So it's not too far to go and visit them, but who got time for that? Apparently me, from what I've been saying. They have full-time jobs, so they don't have time for me. But yeah, so I live with 3 roommates right now, one of which is my boyfriend, one of which is Allie, and the other person is, I think, someone I've talked about, but that's never been in a video. He's James. He's actually behind those doors, not right now. He's back home right now. But that's also why I probably won't be recording videos too often. Probably once or twice a week, because sound travels really well in this apartment. And, like, I can hear him pressing buttons when he plays Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Actually. So I kind of don't want to vlog and talk about I'm uploading personal stuff to the internet. But still, I don't like being confronted with people knowing what I'm talking about. Like, most of the people in my life don't know about this. Hello, those few of you who do. He does. I shouldn't be weird about this, but I am, so it's okay, and I will just upload like a couple times a week, because he goes to a part-time job in Boston, like 2 days a week, so I'll record on those days. Maybe when he goes to class. I don't know. That's another cool thing as a graduate student, is that we get a work from home day. Like, no one told me to take it, but I heard other people talking about it, and we had lab meetings, and we're trying to do scheduling for lab meetings and stuff, and one of the professors was like, yeah, if you guys have a work from home day, for lab meetings, just kind of forget that you do that, because it's really hard to get 20 of us together in one room, and if we factor in work from home days, we will never be available at the same time. And no one argued that. It was just like, yeah, work from home days are completely normal. I'm like, you mean I don't have to come into lab 1 day a week? I can just do it from home? And yeah, I was really amazed by that. So yeah, I'm thinking of making that either Thursday or Friday. Probably The thing is that Thursday and Friday I have classes. Well, one's a seminar that I have to attend. It gets canceled sometimes though, so maybe Thursday's on the week that I get canceled. We'll see. But yeah, that's another thing, is that it is more like a job, but it's also not like a job in some aspects, like work from home days. You normally don't get that at a beginner position. I don't know if we're going to be doing video games really that much anymore. Just because I really enjoy just like losing myself in them and going like, oh, colors. I might stream though. I don't know, I keep playing around with that of streaming. You people who actually watch this and get this far into the video, comment down below if you would rather me do streaming on YouTube or streaming on Twitch. Yes, I do have a Twitch. It has probably been 1.5 years since I've streamed on it. I'm not entirely sure. But it does exist. So, let me down. Let me know which one down below you would prefer. And yeah, we'll wrap this off here, because again, 20 minutes of me sitting here talking to myself while staring at the camera screen on my monitor. I have a lot of updates. I might just film a second video right after this and upload like later in the week. Anyways, have yourself a magical day. I shall see you next time. Bye.